and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura. The recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you, since we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, I thought I'd go really traditional with a delicious tres leches cake with a twist. Always add the twist. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. I will have everything linked down in the description box. If you are new here, welcome. I sure hope you consider hitting that subscribe button. Turn on that little notification bell and they will notify you every time I upload a video. And if you are a regular on my channel, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I appreciate you. Okay guys, if you want to see how I make this recipe, just keep on watching. Let's get started. Okay, we are going to start this recipe off first by, we are going to butter the baking pan that we are going to use. I am going to use a 9 by 13 inch pan. You can spray it or butter it, whatever you like to do. Okay, and I'm just going to set this aside. We're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Okay, now we're going to prep our flour. Here I have my flour. I'm going to add in my baking powder. I will have the measurements in the description box below. What I do a little different than other recipes, and this is salt, is I add a little tiny bit of cinnamon. And I add that to the layers of the cake. We're going to put it here in our flour. We're going to sift it with this whisk just to get it airy and that everything is incorporated nicely. Okay, that's it. Now we're going to the next step. Okay, now the next step, what we are going to do is we are going to beat our egg whites. And we're going to do this step first. It doesn't matter if you do this step first or second. I just like to do it first. And then we beat it until you have stiff peaks. Okay, we're going to check the peaks. It still seems a little runny. So we're going to let them go a few more minutes. Okay, the peaks are done. I'm going to transfer this over to another bowl. We're going to start beating our egg yolks. Okay, now we are going to beat the egg yolks. Everything is at room temperature, and it's very important to have it at room temperature. Okay, so we're going to put in our egg yolks and our sugar and our vanilla. Okay, we're going to let this go for about 3 to 4 minutes. I'm going to take this down and I'm going to scrape everything off the bottom, because sometimes the sugar tends to get stuck at the bottom, and I want to make sure it's all getting incorporated. Okay, now that it's very light, we are going to add in our butter and whip it some more. Now you need to make sure that when you melt the butter for this recipe, that you let it cool back down a little bit. Otherwise you will lose your air that you've put into your recipe already. Make sure that when you melt it, let it cool for about 10 minutes before pouring it into your batter. Okay, well now beat this again. Okay, now that everything is beat nicely, we are going to add in the flour a little bit at a time. Just going nice and slow. Okay, we're done. Now I'm gonna move you back to the counter. We're gonna incorporate the egg whites. Okay, now we are gonna incorporate the egg whites a little bit at a time into the batter. Okay, so we're gonna take just a little bit first. Oops. And we're gonna start working it into our batter. It's a little thick right now, but it'll loosen up. Okay, and that's it. It's okay if you still see a little bit of egg white in there. That just gives it more fluffiness to the cake. And now we're going to get our pan Okay, and here we go. We're just gonna pour it in here. Okay, and that's it. I'm gonna pop it into the oven for 30-35 minutes. I will check it and I will be back. Alrighty, now we are gonna get the milk, the tres leches, the 3 milks, ready for our cake. Even though when the cake comes out of the oven, this is our condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk. We're not going to be able to pour the milk on when it's hot, otherwise you will get mush. The cake needs to sit and cool to room temperature, and then we pour the milk on. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, there's our sweetened condensed milk. This is our evaporated milk, and then our heavy cream. And to this, I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And a teaspoon of vanilla. And this is more layering of flavors. This is delicious, guys. I hope y'all try this. This is ready. Just keep this in the fridge until we're ready to pour it onto our cake. Okay, everybody, the cake is out of the oven. It stayed in there for exactly 30 minutes. And check the toothpick, nothing comes out, so it's ready. I am gonna let this sit here to cool completely. It's very, very hot right now. And then I'll be back later and we will pour the milk and put it in the refrigerator. So I'll be back after a bit. Okay, everybody, we are back. The cake is completely cool, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a skewer, any kind. If you don't have a skewer, just use a fork, and we're just going to poke the cake all the way around. Okay, now that that's done, I just take a ladle, and then I take my milk, which is already very cold, and I just start pouring it on top of the cake. Okay, and that's it. It may seem like a lot of milk, but let me tell you, this cake will drink up the milk. We need to leave this overnight so that it can soak it up real nice, and then we will continue the recipe in the morning or tomorrow afternoon. So I will be back to show you the finished product. So I'm just going to cover this with a foil. And in the fridge it goes. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the morning. Okay, we are going to make the whipped cream topping for the cake. And I had my hook and my bowl in the refrigerator just to get it real nice and cold. And we are going to add in our heavy whipping cream. Okay, so we put the whipping cream. We are going to add in some vanilla. If you want to use clear vanilla so that your topping comes out white, that's fine. I don't mind the color, so I just put it on there. And then we're going to put just a little pinch of salt. We're going to beat this for about a minute before we add some powdered sugar to it. So here we go. Okay, now that we got that nice and frothy, we are going to add in our powdered sugar. And then we're going to let it beat until we have stiff peaks. It's going to take a couple of minutes. Okay, we're going to check the peaks to see where we're at. And it's almost there. So I'm just going to knock this off a little bit and let it go for about another minute or two. Okay, I'm going to pop y'all back over to the counter. Alright guys, now what I like to do, I like to buy some pineapple fruit spread or jam, whatever you have available. If you don't want pineapple, you can use strawberry, any kind of preserve you like. And I like to break it up a little bit, and I like to put my first layer, it's going to be some pineapple. And this gives it so much flavor. And the cake is quite heavy. That's why I like to leave it in the baking pan. Okay, and now that's that layer. And now you start adding in your whipped cream on top. I just kind of dollop it everywhere. All of that delicious whipped cream. You just spread it out. Okay, and that is it. This is ready to cut. So let's go ahead and cut us a piece and give it a taste. Look at that. Delicious. Alright guys, let's go ahead and give this a taste. Okay guys, it's time for the taste. And look at that, how delicious that looks. You can still see a little bit of the milk. We're going to give this a taste. I know that it's delicious because I've had it before. But let's see. That is so delicious. The little twist with the pineapple on top makes all the difference in the world, guys. And the cinnamon that I put into the batter, it is just a very slight hint of cinnamon. It's not too much, not over the top, but you can taste it just a little bit, just enough to make people think, what is that? And then the pineapple just puts it all the way to the top. This is a delicious cake. I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and I hope you give this recipe a try. If you do and you like it, come back and let people know in the comments what you thought about the recipe. People really appreciate that, and I appreciate you spending time with me today. Okay guys, that's going to conclude the video for today. I will have everything, like I said, listed down below. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I will get back with you. And don't forget, big thumbs up if you enjoyed the content and share with family and friends. Alright guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.